Hotel worker emergency responder among several rushed to hospital from St. Anne crash. Several individuals were rushed to hospital after an ambulance and a bus carrying hotel workers crashed in Salem St. Anne on Thursday afternoon. Police report that the incident occurred about 1:30 p.m. According to lawmen, both vehicles were traveling in opposite directions when they collided. The police were called to the scene and the injured individuals were taken to hospital for treatment. Jessica Hamill, an employee of Free Hotel, where the hotel workers were reportedly employed, said the incident has dampened her mood. "It's sad to say you're going to earn a little living and this tragedy happened. Just give God thanks that no lives were lost," she stated. She told reporters that since receiving the report that one of her co-workers has been discharged. According to the road safety unit, at least 31 people have died in crashes in St. Anne since the start of the year. Road through the Bagwat Gorge blocked due to landslide. The National Works Agency NWA is reporting that the road through the Bagwat Gorge St. Catherine is now impassable due to a landslide near Kent Village. Downpour lines are however impacting the agency's ability to safely respond and have the road reopened, the NWA says, adding that it has sought assistance from the Jamaica Public Service Company with addressing the issue. In the meantime, motorists are being advised to exercise caution in the area and to use alternative routes where possible. Wife killer Beachy Stout, co-accused sentenced to life in prison. Portland businessman Everton Beachy Stout McDonald and co-accused Oscar Barnes, who in March were found guilty of murder and conspiracy to murder in the 2020 killing of McDonald's wife Tonian, has been sentenced to life in prison. The sentence was handed down in the Supreme Court on Thursday morning. Both convicts will be eligible for parole after serving 28 years and 11 months behind bars. On the conspiracy of murder charge, Beachy Stout was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months, while Barnes received 6.5 years. Both sentences are to run concurrently. Tonia was gruesomely murdered on July 20, 2020, on the main road in Sherwood Forest in Portland. She was stabbed repeatedly, her throat slashed in the Toyota Axio motor car she was driving, and her body burned. McDonald, who was Tonia's husband at the time of the murder, was arrested and charged with the killing. Oscar Barnes was later arrested. Both arrests came after police were tipped off that Denverlin Boblamento could assist them greatly in the investigations into the murder. After they arrested him at his house in Portland, he confessed to his involvement, claiming that he had been contracted by McDonald for $3 million to kill his wife. However, Minter claimed that because he could not carry out the crime exactly as he was instructed, to stab and burn her body, he ended up subcontracting the killing to Oscar Barnes, who he said murdered Tonia all by himself. Listed persons of interest now in police custody. 3 of 11 who were named as persons of interest by the Kingston Western Police have handed themselves in after the request was made. Those who turned themselves over are Lucian Anderson, Ricardo Manning, otherwise called Rudy, and a man known only as Holt. Police said Anderson and the man known only as Holt handed themselves into the police on Tuesday, while Manning came in on Wednesday. The men are being questioned by detectives from the division. Still being sought are Jason Lawrence, otherwise called Liz, Jermaine Christie, Adrian Darkins, Andy Anderson, a man known only as Kiba, a man known only as Raheem, a man known only as Tyreek, a man known only as Richard. Investigators said these individuals may be able to assist them with their ongoing probe into related various incidents, including an ongoing gang feud in the Craigtown St. Andrew area. With the intensity of this feud, the police have imposed a 48-hour curfew, which began on Monday evening. The curfew has since been extended for another 48 hours. Anyone with information that can assist the police in locating the other men is asked to contact the Denham Town Criminal Investigations Branch CIB at 948-6443 or Crime Stop at 311. Individuals may also contact the police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. 630 tablets to be distributed to students. 630 tablets are to be distributed to students across the country by October 2nd. The devices are being disbursed by the Universal Service Fund USF under the Contact A Child Program. Minister of Information and Digital Transformation Dr. Dana Marks-Dixon says each member of Parliament will be given 10 tablets for the beneficiaries who must meet a certain criteria. She was speaking during a post-cabinet press briefing.
And they are to ensure that deserving students have access to the digital tools necessary for their academic success. And all recipients are selected based on their academic performance and family income. So it's not just anyone who gets it. So they have to be performing really well, and they have to be a family that actually needs the support. And then also there's an added requirement of access to Wi-Fi to optimize the use of the tablets. And this Connect a Child program was introduced during the 23-24 academic year, and it focuses primarily on those who are doing PEP, and it was established under the leadership of Minister Daryl Vaz.
Keith Clark's organs were split open by 20 bullets, says pathologist. Former Chief Forensics Pathologist in the Legal Medicine Unit at the Ministry of National Security, Dr. Rowe, said on Wednesday that he received 3 proposals from the Integrity Commission of Investigations Indicom that possibly explain how accountant Keith Clark was shot dead at his home on May 27, 2010 by members of the Jamaica Defense Force JDF. Based on evidence he assessed, he accepted the third one. The doctor was testifying via video link in the Home Circuit Court murder trial of 3 soldiers in downtown Kingston. The soldiers on trial are Lance Corporals Greg Tinglin and Odell Buckley, as well as Private Arnold Henry for the shooting death of Clark. The doctor noted the third proposition was that Mr. Clark was shot while he was coming down from the top of the closet with his back turned towards the shooter, and was asked to opine on the possible position of the shooter. Of the 3, proposition number 3 corroborated with the external and internal injuries at the crime scene regarding the position of the shooter. Am of the opinion that majority of the gunshot entered the left side back region, indicating the position of the deceased. The left side back of the body was facing the shooter, or he turned himself away from the shooters, exposing his left side back or during the maneuver at the moment of shooting, so as to expose the left surface of his back towards the shooter. The deceased was either crouching or bending opposite the shooter. Few of the firearm injuries suggested that he could have been shot or after or during the process of his fall on the floor, the doctor noted. The first proposition put in by the doctor by Indicom that Clark was shot while he was lying on top of the closet inside the master bedroom of his house at 18 Kirkland Close in Kirkland Heights, St. Andrew, and pointing a gun at the shooters. The second proposition was that the now deceased accountant was shot after he had fallen to the ground from on top of the closet and was reaching for his licensed firearm. The doctor rubbished both the first and second propositions. The pathologist said he had received a request from Indicom on December 8, 2010 to provide his expert opinion. He told the court that there were in total 25 injuries to the body of Clark, which were from the gunshots. He said 20 of those injuries were fatal injuries, while the other 5 were non-fatal injuries. He said he took 3 things from Clark's body. We took closed bullet fragment and a piece of sternum. The sternum is a center bone in the front of the chest between the ribs. After removing these items, it was handed over to the police. The conclusion I came to was the death was due to traumatic shock as a result of extensive lacerations of lungs, heart, intestine, and kidney due to the multiple gunshot wounds to the back involving the chest and abdomen. Because of the multiple gunshots, the organs inside the chest cavity and abdomen were destroyed or were extensively damaged or split open because of the bullets and because of shock waves and splinters associated with the bullets, he noted. Clark was killed during a police military operation which was aimed at capturing then-fugitive drug lord Christopher Dudu-Skoke, who was allegedly camping out and hiding inside the basement of Clark's house with around 7 heavily armed henchmen. It is alleged that during the operation, the gunmen allegedly challenged the security force to a fierce gun battle before escaping in heavily forested area to the back of the premises. Clark, who was inside his house, was along with his wife and teenage daughter, who was shot as he allegedly attempted to come down from the top of his closet. The argument put forward by the defense was that Clark pointed his live firearm at the soldiers and possibly shot at them, which prompted them to return gunfire. The trial continues on Monday. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.